Today, we will be reacting to episode 3 of Hell's Paradise, Weakness and Strength. I'm so excited for today's episode because as a manga reader of this series, I feel like this episode is where things are really gonna get started.
I think this is the episode that'll make or break people's
feelings towards the series.
Yeah. Whether they're going to continue it or drop it. I didn't expect as many people to be on the fence, but hopefully this is a great episode and hopefully they change their minds because it's a good series.
Yeah, it's a really great series. I'm so excited to react to the anime for the very first time. So without further ado, let's just jump into today's reaction, episode 3, Weakness and Strength.
Don't like that guy.
What the heck? Oh. My God. He's a freak.
昔海の向こうの大陸で得た薬のおかげらしい。その顔、本気で実在するとは思ってなかったみたいだな。あるよ、不老不死の戦薬。ここにあるかはわからんが。
Whoa.
What? 不気味な景色の間違いだろ。どの植物も種類や生息地はめちゃくちゃ不自然極まりない。
おい。
わからん。警戒して。
手縄は外さない。
So easy.
手縄のままなんて無茶だろ。
無茶でもそれが上位です。罪人を見張るのが私の役目。
Fuck the Shogun.
あなたが規則を
Yeah, that's such an unfair rule. Like, you're gonna die and I'm gonna die if you do that.
いや、多めに見てよ。無茶なのはこれだけじゃないぞ。水食料は3日分だけ。手がかりも写し1枚。まともに見つける気ないだろ、狼の連中は。
手縄をつけなさい。私は処刑執行人であり、協力者ではない。手縄をしないなら、その首跳ねるまで。
He's like, yare yare da.
お好きにどうぞ。とにかくわしは妻に会いたいだけだ。そのための条件。
My wife.
無茶は言わんでくれ。
Oh, fuck.
一人目、討ち取ったり。愚か者め。かような状況で気を抜くなど死して当然。
びっくりした。
大丈夫なんですか？
Good old Gabby.
首の骨外したし。
死罪人の一人、伊上の慶雲です。僧兵修行中に武具そのものに見入られてしまった荒法師。武芸者から奪い集めた武具は100を超えるとか。
Oh, wow.
いや、
Yo, it's just a sword.
今はそんなこと。
What about him? His restraints are gone.
Yeah, what about that guy?
That
Remember
guy,
what you said?
縄くらい帰りに縛り直せばいいだろう。
She's like, I didn't know we could do that.
そんなバカ正直さだから未だに段位も下なんだよ。俺らサイモンは順位付けされてんのさ。ちなみにサギリは
今はそういった話をしている時では。
あれを無視するか、伽藍のガビマル。我が名器を存分に試せるわけだ。武具は血を吸って初めて輝く。
Wow, not pack light.
Yeah, it's like you want a vacation.
貴様の体に教え込んでやろう。
つうかこんなとこで戦ってたら他の奴らに先越されるぞ。
力だ。まずは他の罪人を皆殺し、その後ゆっくり戦薬を探すが得策。
我々は監視役だ。殺し合うならご勝手に。
同意です。
面倒だし無駄だし。妻が悲しむくらい嫌なんだけど。仕方ない。殺すか。
手縄。
Oh my God. Whoa. Oh God.
Ridiculous.
し結べた。
Oh, shooty.
Easy. Sick. That was so sick.
やっぱりやりづらいよ、手縄だと。
一撃肌に直接
Dynamite? What is that?
蒸気をしている
It looked like dynamite, bro.
ここからだ
That
It's
looked,
the armor.
it looked like
Dynamite?
it looked like he strapped
This
dynamite
show's got it all.
to his body.
Oh.
Oh my god.
無駄な時間を過ごした。ちゃんと手縄してあるぞ。
はい
So, okay.
I am clocking out early.
言っただろう。俺たちは敵でも味方でもない。担当の罪人が死ねば首を持って帰るだけだよ。
60人が行方知れずの島です。どうかキロもお気をつけて。
人の心配してる場合かよ。
Bro,
むしろ俺は早く抜けれて
don't
な。
be rude.
お前の隣にいるのは犯罪者だぞ。小舟で上陸してまだ数国。それでも俺は見た。上陸前に相手を削ろうとする者、結託を目論む者、それを装う者。
There she is.
There she is.
もともとが社会の規則も守れんやつが。
Whoa, dude. Whoa, dude.
それぞれのやり方で生き
I
残ろ
mean-
うとする。手段なんか選ばんさ。今は戦略。それ以外は全て二の次。みんなが守ると信じてなきゃ成立しない幻。穴から通用しないやつもいる。そいつみたいにな。いっそ、俺が今切ってやろうか。
やめてくれよ、無駄な戯れは。
Yeah, you get to go
わしは
home.
ただ妻
Bye.
の元に帰りたいだけだ。それ以外はどうでもいい。
予言してやるよ。もう数国で状況は一変する。
This guy.
空腹か六郎太
Oh.
数国
Oh
誰も
my
予測できな
god.
い事態になる。
Fuck yeah.
死罪人は半分以上死に、その数国後にはもう半分。
What the
一日もか
fuck?
からず一人になるだろう。
You took her out.
所詮お
Damn.
前らは消耗品。忠告はしたぞ。
確かに数日行動を共にしても未だにこの男の本性がつかみきれない。
I mean, I feel like you do though.
Yeah, I mean,
Sa-
he doesn't care about anything else but his wife. You know that.
Yeah.
He's made that very clear.
Gabby, what are you doing?
Gabby,
何のつもりですか。
せめて苦しませずに殺そうと思ったのだが。
このガキはわしが育て
God,
るよ
this guy sucks.
よく見ておけガビマルこれが弱さだ
God
強くなければ何も守れん大切なものすべて
Woo.
Okay.
私を殺せば規則違反になりますよ。
もし岩隠れ衆が島に上陸すれば、すべてが水泡に帰す。そうなる前に戦略を見つけねば。
だから殺すと。
仕方ない時は仕方ないさ。
やはりこの男は危険。考えも倫理観も極端で異常だ。即刻処刑すべきなのにためらう自分がいる。どうしても。
今ので仕留められたはずなのに。
You're both hesitating.
わしは
You
何を
like each other
なぜだ。
as friends.
殺し
You
なん
got a
か
wife.
したくないって当然のことだと思いますけど、
今さらそんな感情など。
キスしたくらいで赤くなる人が何言っちゃってんの。情があるなら従えばいいんです。もうかつてのあなたとは違うのだから、情を貫くことが真の武勇です。
確かにわしは妻と出会い、情を知った。だが憎しみも知った。
そいつは標的ではないぞ
こいつが妻もろとも復讐するっていうか。
He said something about my wife.
Yeah.
妻と子がいるんだ
Did you say wife?
Wait, you have a wife too?
Well, I got one of those too, buddy.
弱さも知った。まただ。これは弱さだ。
Whoa,
相
that
手
was
は凶暴な資材人。その上、命まで狙われているのに。
まったく厄介だ。心ってやつは。
強くなければ何も守れん。
Don't let that guy get in your head, dude. Whoa.
無駄な抵抗はやめておけ。他の罪人ならともかく。お主を殺すのは心苦しいんだ。
心苦しい。
It's like, then
そん
don't
な
do
感情が
it.
残っているの。
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no point.
Okay, you have a wife.
情などな
Bro.
わしは伽藍のガビマルだ。今さらお主一人殺したとて何も感じない。強くなければ何も守れん。
Ew.
I know he's so nasty.
やはりこの男は危険。
死んでくれ。
Do it or don't
Yeah.
do it, Gabby.
Come on, Gabby. There you go.
何も感じないはずだろ。
He's like, yeah, that was embarrassing. I'm okay though.
Let's just forget that happened.
何も感じぬ伽藍堂ではない。情を持った人間だった。私もまたそんな彼を見て情と向き合うことができたんだった。
わしはここまで弱くなったのか。こんなに弱くては妻に会えん。
それは弱さじゃない。強さの種よ。自分の
It's a little
情から
sexual.
It
You have a
really,
wife,
it
dude.
really is sexual.
You're talking about seed and then
Yeah.
sheathing a sword like that is sexual. You have a wife, Gabby.
自分の情に向き合えたから。
She say whatever she can. She's like,
Yeah.
maybe you don't
状
have
況で
to.
言うか。
あなたこそ手が止まってますよ。本来なら即刻死刑ですが、今回は不問にしましょう。どうか私に見せてください。あなたのような人間が人生を取り戻せるかどうか。
もう
かつてのあなたとは違うのだから。
Ew.
なんだこりゃ。
人工物のように見えますが。
Ugh.
That's your
Like literally my
Greatest nightmare.
nightmare. Oh.
Oh fuck. No hesitation.
何やってんだあんた。どうして。
Holy
見ろ。
shit.
人の顔した蝶だ。こんなも
Ew.
のこの世にいるか。
It's literally disgusting. Oh, yep.
見とれてる場合じゃねえ。一体何なんだこの島。まさか本物の彼岸なのか。面白くなってきやがった。
Whoa. Yeah, this is where it started to pick up in the manga from this moment. And I know I keep saying that, but they look
何この
kind of cool, but also extremely disgusting.
離れてろ。
Damn. Okay. All right. So I think that was a solid episode, but going back and re-experiencing the series again, I do feel like that episode was sort of kind of a rehashing of a similar moment that we got in episode 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I felt the way I felt reading the manga again. And that might not be a good thing.
I mean,
just the repetitiveness of, you know, Gabby's whole deal.
and
She's
Sagiri's
like,
whole thing too.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know who you... Because it happens a lot in the manga. I mean, even further down, it still continues to happen. And only until the end, we really see that growth. And it's kind of throughout, but it's always a thing in the back of everyone's mind. Sagiri, for sure. I mean, just like the insecurities and everything. Gabby, kind of less so, but in this episode, it was just like that whole fight, the dialogue was just back and forth the same lines, which was kind of disappointing. Everything else, it was funny because the way that the episode started with like, oh, things are changing,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
I was like, wow, that was so fucking vanilla. That was not what I was expecting. I was disappointed.
What do you mean?
When they first start to show the Bakugo character like getting choked and the girl like
Yeah.
hopping on the guy, I
Yeah.
thought that was gonna be it. I was like, because I was excited for
gotcha.
that in the manga when they show kind of like the fate of all the people that just landed on the island. It was like what we got on the second time around when they showed it again and revisited the characters. And it was like super dark and crazy. And I
Yeah.
was like, hell yeah, this
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
I was
So when they
relieved.
came back to it, you were like, thank God.
Yeah, I was like, thank God it's not just that. I was like, no way. And then that's what I liked about just the series in general, how it is so especially like seeing all like the flowers and the butterflies and all this like whimsical, but underneath it all, it is kind of very dark.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah.
Well,
but
that's-
again, yeah, that was my only issue with this
Yeah, I
episode.
want to be very clear. Like, I really am enjoying this adaptation, and I love this story. But even in the manga, we felt like there were points and periods of time throughout where the pacing did, it did slow to a point of taking us a little bit out at times.
Yeah.
Nothing like crazy, nothing major, but I was really hoping and wanting some of those moments to be tightened up, not cut out, but just like tightened up, because I do think that this moment is a little different than the first moment, because
No, it is.
the first moment was about Gabby really wanting to understand or understanding that he does want to live, that he does care about his wife.
Yeah.
And then this moment is sort of a rehashing of that, but also more so his feelings towards his clan, because he's afraid of his clan. He knows how powerful they are, and now he knows that they're on the way there, and he's like,
he's afraid.
That changes things.
Yeah, the only reason why he's, again, this has been said multiple times, the only reason why he's afraid is because of his wife. Like,
Right.
he's only living because he wants to see her, he wants to be with her, and vice versa. Like, he wants her to have him because he knows how, like, her dad is not a cool guy, and her situation could potentially be so much worse if he doesn't show back up because just how she is. But yeah, that was the only issue. It was just like back and forth. Like, it really felt like they were stretching out that fight scene and that moment just so they could have the ending be the introductions of the monsters, which is like, okay, I get it. But it did feel, I mean, I don't know why I'm hesitating. And she's like, I don't know why I'm hesitating. And I was like, why am I hesitating? It's like, I don't understand why I'm hesitating. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh
Sagiri
my
has
God.
more of that, I think, throughout than Gabimaru. Like,
for sure.
Gabimaru really, at a certain point, understands that it is for his wife.
But
and
she just,
Sagiri has a way harder
she
time.
struggles.
Like figuring herself out, I guess, or coming to terms with all of these things that she's feeling. I really thought that this episode was going to feature more of those creatures that we saw at the very end. I thought
just more of the other executioners, the Simon and
Right.
criminals. It did show like glimpses. Like, I did like how it does feel lived in, right? So you have like different things happening at different times, not having characters necessarily be interacting constantly. I do like that, but we got to see, the small boy, tall man. I do love them. I'm so excited to see more of them.
There's so many
But
pairs that I really enjoy.
yeah, that could have been just a
And-
little less, which is kind of unsettling because that is the one thing I was hoping that you said, hoping that they would just rein in, tighten in.
Yeah, I don't want that moment between Gabby and Sagiri to be cut out.
No, just a little less. Like, it
It just could have been
Yeah,
tightened up.
yeah, for sure.
We are getting like the true cast of characters here by eliminating all of these other criminals. We are thinning the herd and deciding and seeing who we're going to be spending a lot of time with. But I will say, obviously, no spoilers. No one is safe in this series. That's another thing I really like about this series. And I do believe that this episode ends. I'm fairly confident that this is where the first volume ends.
Yeah.
Fairly confident, because I do remember that
Yeah.
big 2-page spread of that huge monster coming
Yeah.
from the
And
tree line.
I feel like even while reading, I had always been I do like the two main characters. But with this series, I mean, it is the supporting cast that really like takes the show. Gabimaru, towards the end, you feel so much for this character. But I will say, like, I am the most excited to meet and have all the team together, I guess, or to see more of them, because they are really the meat of this series. And I mean the antagonists of the series, I guess.
Well,
they are super cool.
Yeah, and that's when the story again becomes what it really is. And there are, team ups and betrayals and other things that haven't been introduced yet, but are shown in the OP.
Yeah.
And hinted at. Yeah.
It really is a situation of like, I know you may not like it now, but just wait, which I hate. I do hate being that person. Yeah, because it's like, well, actually, in the manga, it's like I don't like being that person. But if you are at all interested or like slightly interested, I know there's so many other shows out this season competing with Hell's Paradise, and if you're kind of on the fence, I would just say stick with it. If you are a fan of like really great, solid supporting casts, and story development and character development,
and just interesting, new, fresh. I mean, to me, that's what it felt like when I read the manga. I was like, oh, this is new, this is fresh, this is different.
Yeah.
It has like shonen elements and a very concrete power system, which is something we've seen, in so many other series. But it
the
does
world.
The world. And I do like what it does with the characters. And I think, and I think Gabby is an interesting protagonist. And I think that there are so many other characters, like you said, that we're going to get to spend more time with that really do get to shine and make the series feel so special. The one thing, there's a couple things I want to talk about though before we wrap up that I did enjoy, and I'm overall enjoying from the series so far, and that is the music is crazy.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. And the colors and the just like overall direction is really, really
I think the
nice.
Overall direction is okay. But like the art design, like that is, and the the backgrounds and all of that is done really well. But the actual like direction.
There are some scenes that are just like,
it's not bad.
No, but it is just, it's like,
I hate to say this because Mappa does such a good job, and it's almost like not their fault for they're just held to a standard because they are so good at what they do. Like they have really,
I would say the directions in the fight scenes, like the heavy animated fight scenes are pretty good, but I would say like the regular like dialogue scenes are a little
I mean,
that's what I feel. I mean,
it doesn't
have to be anything crazy.
No, I just think that sequence that we got in the previous episode with Gabimaru going off, that was awesome. And that's what we all know Mappa to be very capable of. And there were some sequences in this episode that were good. I don't think anything like what we got in the last episode.
No, I mean, whole sequence, but I love the sequence. Like I said, the highlight for me was the first introduction to like what was happening on the island when they first landed or went to the island, and then like the second part of like showing the result of that. Those two scenes were super awesome. I mean, showing like, no dialogue, no heavy.
Right.
That's what I liked in the manga too, is just showing like this is the result of what you saw earlier.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really well done.
Yeah. And to the point of the music being so awesome, because the music has an eeriness to it, right? Like an uncomfortability to it. And I wish the direction would sort of lean more into the eeriness of it, because I like the juxtaposition of a beautiful, lush, landscape, but with these really hideous monsters. So I wish the direction would have like leaned more into
I think they're leaning into like the gore aspect of like, that's dark. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily like you said, like lending itself to like the darkness of the world. It is like, oh, look, we have gore. That guy's head just got chopped off. that's dark instead of like really. Well, we might see in the next episode, but like seeing the butterfly man faces and like the creatures. And I feel like we'll get more of that once we get introduced to the other cast of characters. Like, the other thing that's
the other cast of characters. The other cast.
No, not like
and the other.
Yeah, the other stuff.
The other stuff.
But yeah, I agree.
I just want to say I also love that another thing that I think is doing really well is it is sticking to the source material. And I think it's adapting it well. Again, aside from that one small nitpick and critique that we had about potentially and possibly tightening things up, but it is, it is faithful to the source material. I do think that it is, animated well for the most part, and like you said, the colors and the setting are done well. Even if I wished that it would lean more into the eeriness of everything or the juxtaposition of those two different kind of things. And I know like you said, I hate being the guy who's like, just give it one more episode if you're not feeling it. And I only say that because like we love the series, but there's always discourse online about, everything. And I saw some people online say that, it's too slow or it's not what I thought it was going to be. But I really do think with this series, patience and holding out, if you are one of those people, maybe you're just like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I thought all 3 of these episodes have been lit. And you're not wrong. Everybody's entitled to their opinion for sure. Even the people who are saying that it's too slow. But I would say really now that you've seen the creatures and now that they've kind of whittled down and weeded out some of the other criminals, that this is where it's going to start shifting. But I'm also coming to terms with the fact that the pace could be just
slow,
a little on the slow side.
A little on the slow side, which is what I was hoping it would not be. Not saying that I'm not enjoying it, but that is the one thing that I was so skeptical about when I heard there was going to be an adaptation, because reading it, even reading it, sometimes it did feel a little slow, which is crazy because, reading manga compared to watching an episode of anime, it's like you can get it done so much faster. But I will say, hopefully, with the introduction of the new characters, even if it is a bit slow, it'll be fun, just like it was in the manga. And I can only hope for the best because, this for sure, the first 2 episodes, I didn't feel it slow at all. This episode, I saw a little glimmer of that, and I'm like, that sent chills down my spine.
Yeah.
That's what made me creeped out. Not going on
not
Hell's
the
Paradise.
butterfly, not the butterfly with a man's face.
No, I was like, oh god. But that's just a small thing. I mean, it's beautiful. It's well done. It's everything that you could have hoped for if you're, you're getting a Hell's Paradise anime adaptation.
No, and I'm here for it. I am enjoying it. Again, I'm just wanting to be honest and express the small little nitpicks or critiques that I did have.
We're not gonna be like, oh, so fucking
because again, if you compare it to something like Chainsaw Man, which is also a map of production, Chainsaw Man slowed. I felt like it slowed down to the betterment of the series, right? Like it gave more moments to the emotions of the characters, right? Like it spent more time and really made those moments feel more real.
Well, that's
and heavier.
That's the difference, right? I mean, this is like with Hell's Paradise, I was hoping that they would take more liberties in changing some of the direction and not cutting, but changing some of those moments for the better, just like Chainsaw Man did. It really focused heavy on that type of like feeling and like those feelings towards the characters. More so in the manga, there are those moments, but I feel like with the music and the voice acting and the shots and everything, it made you feel more. I was hoping that it wouldn't be like textbook adaptation with Hell's Paradise because the way I felt reading it. And you know what I mean? Like,
and in the case of
not in a bad way, but
in the case of Chainsaw Man, I felt like the pace was obviously, it felt a little slower because reading the manga, I mean, when you read the manga, you can blow through X amount of chapters in an hour. So watching anything animated is going to maybe feel a little bit slower. But I thought that served the story so much better. And it never felt, even though the pacing was slowed down, it never felt like the story itself was slow or repetitive. Like that's the difference, right? Like
That's
Chainsaw
the
Man never
thing
felt
that-
that way. And
Yeah.
Hell's Paradise in this episode, it felt a little repetitive, which is, something that unfortunately I feel anime does from time to time.
like flashback to a flashback
or just the
that we
character,
already saw.
kind of having this thing that they
the same
struggle with or
thing
say over and over and over.
and over. Like, you showed me my feelings. You showed me.
Yeah.
I know you're
Why
not
am I-
hollow.
why
I'm
am I-
hollow. I'm hollow. I'm hollow. It's
Why
like,
am I feeling this way?
why
And
am I
then,
hesitating?
6 episodes later, it's like, why am I still hesitating? It's like, okay, let's figure this
Deal
out.
with the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But overall,
it is. We're
yeah.
not hating.
No,
it
no,
is
no, no,
just
no,
like
no.
we can't. I'm not
We're just
going to
being
sit
honest.
here, and just lie and be like, that was the best.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
It's still-
Especially reading. I mean, we already read it, and watching it again, it's just like,
and we're fans of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still am enjoying the adaptation, and I am excited to see where it goes from this episode on. Anyway, that's going to do it for our conversation on episode 3 of Hell's Paradise. Let us know your thoughts. Do you agree with the points that we made? Do you feel differently? Any and all comments?
disagree.
Yeah, agree or disagree are welcome in the comment
Are
section.
you dropping
down
it?
below.
Are you continuing it?
I mean, yeah, just let's have a
Are
conversation.
you going to read it instead?
Yeah. And subscribing, liking, all of those things help us out so much as well. So if you're enjoying this video, if you enjoy these types of videos, this type of content, then just consider leaving a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to see the full uncut, unedited, uncensored versions of these reactions and any and all other reactions that we do, then you can do that by becoming a Patreon or YouTube member. To become a Patreon member, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/volume1pod. To become a YouTube member, all you got to do is click join somewhere next to the subscribe button. On this video, you get uncut, unedited, uncensored access to the reactions, but also early access, exclusive podcast episodes, so much more. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in and are able and willing to do, then again, patreon.com/volume1pod or clicking join somewhere next to the subscribe button on this video. The only thing left to do now, is to get out of here on our outro that is always the same and never changes, which today, Megan, is stop hesitating.
Yeah, stop hesitating and watch Hell's Paradise. No.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. That's probably the best. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for any and all ways that you show your support. And until next time, stop hesitating! Why am I hesitating?
Why can't I kill?
My wife.
Why can't I?